What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Derek Lunsford. Since his new coach, that was also a topic of discussion in the long-awaited episode of Bro Chat. And the word on the street is that it's either AJ Sims or Chris Aceto.
Saw it on the internet on like comments and shit. Either AJ Sims or Aceto.
I heard AJ Sims, yeah.
Wow, that's weird. I wouldn't have called either one of those.
But just an hour ago, the legendary trainer Chris Cormier posted a video of him taking Derek through a leg workout, and with a very interesting caption. So this could very well mean that Chris Cormier is going to be the one training Derek for this upcoming Arnold prep, which is scheduled in March, as all of you guys know by now. However, I do believe that Derek might have someone other than Chris doing his diet and gear protocol. But I have got to say that isn't the most important part. The most important variable for Derek during this prep is bringing back his quads up to a point where he has that same balance that he had at the Olympia 2022 or at the Olympia last year when he won. And I don't think Derek could have made a better choice if Chris Cormier is the one actually training him, because Chris is just so precise and calculated when it comes to his training regimes. We have a perfect example in the form of Breon Ansley on how he was able to improve with every passing year, year after year, especially at such a late stage in his career. So Derek Lunsford is only 31 years old, and you better believe that he has all the capabilities, all the right tools to present an amazing and a much improved package at this upcoming Arnold. So this is the show that's gonna shape Derek's future and his career ahead. And he just won't be making the same mistake of overdieting again this time. Next up, we have the physique update from Carlos Thomas Jr. He's finally back to his YouTube channel, so make sure you follow his journey to his first ever Arnold. And as it turns out, Carlos started this prep way earlier than most of us expected. And that pretty much explains why he looks so damn good and crazy impressive here in some of these progress pictures that he posted in the last few weeks or so. So I 100% believe that Carlos Thomas Jr. is gonna be the real wildcard at this upcoming Arnold next year. Because other than his back, he has so much muscle, so much thickness, so much mass, and that too in all the right areas. And he has those amazing proportions. Plus the fact that he is now working with Patrick Tour, that gives us all a lot of hope that this is gonna be by far the best condition of Carlos. And they have also made some significant changes to his overall diet, because most of you know that as Carlos gets closer and closer to the stage ready condition, he gets that ulcerative colitis. And that has happened not once, but twice in the past 2 years. So that is something that he really needs to be cautious about. Now, as far as his back progression is concerned, well, he knew it all along that that is the one area that requires the most attention. And that is where he has been focused so much throughout this very long off season. Now, I don't think people really have any idea on how good Carlos can be if he comes in truly shredded and absolutely ripped. He's doing Detroit Pro after this year's Arnold, Ohio, and the man is all determined to get his first pro win and also to get to the Olympia stage for the very first time in his career.
One of the only times in a long time, well, one of the few times in a long time that I'm actually enjoying the process. And I don't really have a lot of pressure on myself. A lot of internal expectations.
Next up, we have an update from Brett Wilkin. So not only he posted a physique update, but he also made the announcement that Stefan is gonna be his new coach moving forward. And really there is no surprise there, as he is such close friends with Martin-Fitzwater. And I just kept telling you guys that this is gonna happen eventually, because he just saw the entire process firsthand of how much attention to detail Stefan gave when he was picking Martin-Fitzwater for the Olympia and Prague as well. So Brett was able to win the Legion Sports this year. And when it comes to getting peeled, Brett's track record, that just speaks for itself. The only issue that even he himself noticed is that he lost quite a lot of wow factor in those last few weeks leading into the Legion Sports. He lost a lot of size, but he has got a full year ahead of him to keep working on that physique, putting on more size, getting more density, because I think we can all agree on this, he needs to be considerably bigger than what we saw from him at this year's Legion Sports if he wants to make top 10 at the Olympia next year. And we have to keep in mind, that is gonna be his Olympia debut. Now Brett is, I have to say, very unlucky in a sense that he would have made his Olympia debut last year if he did not have that digestion problem that became so severe just 6 weeks out of the Olympia that year that he was left with no other option than to just pull out of the Olympia that year after getting ready for that show for almost an entire year. Now he is a pretty big and a very thick guy in the off-season, and he has to somehow get shredded without losing so much pop to his muscles. Now, I don't think he's planning to do any other show other than the Olympia next year, and I think that is the right move, because he wants to make his Olympia debut a very memorable one. Next up, we have an update from Justin Rodriguez as he starts prepping down for his 5th consecutive Arnold Classic. Now that in itself is a great achievement, because getting to step on the second biggest bodybuilding stage of the year, that is no joke. Now it was the same show where we saw one of the best versions of Justin back in 2022, where he did one of his last shows with AJ Sims. So Justin's decline in the overall placings, that has to do with some big factors. But the most important one in my opinion, that was him parting ways with AJ Sims, the guy who coached him to be top 8 at the Olympia level in 2 consecutive years. And the second most important variable in my opinion, that was his age. Now we do not know whether it's even possible for him to bring back his quads up to a point where he has somewhat of a balance between his upper and lower body, or as they were back in the day. And this year has been the worst competitive year for Justin during his entire career, because he is now at a stage in his career where he is struggling to make the first call out in the Olympia qualifiers, let alone win those shows. Now looking back at his physique from a few years back, he was quite impressive in terms of his overall muscularity and the kind of weight that he had. Now I do believe if he wants to qualify for the Olympia again, he needs to go back to his Chicago Pro 2020 look, if that's even possible, which I don't think it is. So this will come as a surprise to many of you guys that the reigning 212 Olympia champion, Keon Pearson, just got done with his gyno surgery. Now it is really a surprise, because never at any point in his career, someone said that Keon had gyno. But that being said, as young as Keon is, this is a problem that is faced by many bodybuilders as they advance. So it is actually a very smart idea to get rid of that right here at this phase of the year, where he is mostly focused on getting healthier and recovering his body from months and months of hard training and dieting and staying on the prep.
What's up, you guys? Gyno surgery was complete. Did not talk about me doing this, but it was something that needed to be done. The gyno was very minor, nothing big at all. But I do believe if you do have gyno, get it out now. Don't wait later to get it. The things that we do for bodybuilding, but it has to be done.
So Keon is gonna be a bodybuilder that will most likely create history in the future. Well, he has already cemented his legacy as a 2x 212 Olympia champion. And this past Olympia version of Keon Pearson, that was the best physique to ever step on the 212 bodybuilding stage, period. But we are looking at a very formidable future men's open guy. So great to see him taking care of all the things that are necessary, things that will make him better in the future. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.